Good afternoon and welcome to Clothe Your Field, where we have Chamber of Commerce weather as the Swarthmore College men's lacrosse team looks to close out non-conference play on a high note as they host the Hawks from Roger Williams University this afternoon. Hello and welcome to Clothe Your Field. I'm Paul Gronowski. I'll be taking you through today's game between the 5-2 Garnet and the 2-4 Hawks. Swarthmore came home on Wednesday night to begin a 3-game homestand and knocked off Delaware Valley in a very convincing 14-5 victory. In that game, Ben Shafer recorded a hat trick in the first half for the Garnet, while Michael Hardiman came on in the second half and recorded a hat trick of his own. And it was a game that the Garnet really controlled from the outset, winning the opening faceoff and scoring just 27 seconds into the contest. It would be the first of 9 straight goals scored by Swarthmore, that run going through about the midway point of the second quarter. And by the time Del Val got on the board, the game was already well out of reach. Also factoring into the scoring for Swarthmore, Carter Strauch had a pair of goals and 2 assists. And then Dean Ladrito, Will Drake, Ryan Chambliss, Jack Ford, Jackson Brosgol, and P.J. Cass also found the back of the net in the victory. Swarthmore played 3 goalies in the win. Shane Nashin started the game in goal for Swarthmore. He made 7 saves in the opening half and then was relieved in the third quarter by Jack Ballou. Ballou made 4 saves, and then Kevin Julich made his collegiate debut in the fourth quarter, stopping 3 Aggie shots. And the big stat in the game for Swarthmore was caused turnovers. They caused a season-high 26 turnovers in the victory. Alex Strauch led the team with 5, while Sam Ginsberg tacked on 3. Meanwhile, for Roger Williams, they took on Trinity on the 16th of March, and they were in that game after the first quarter, only trailing by the score of 4-3. But then Trinity poured it on over the second and third quarters, scoring 14 consecutive goals on their way to a 21-5 victory. Tim Mullane, Matt Halpin, Noah Rivas, Ryan Phillips, and Will Railton all scored for Roger Williams against the Bantams. And in goal, Duncan Gillis made 5 saves, but Gillis will not be in goal this afternoon for the Hawks. It'll be Max Kimmel, a 6'4" freshman from Milford, Connecticut, making his first collegiate start. And in goal for Swarthmore as the opening faceoff is underway and controlled by Joel Paulson of the Garnet. Nashin, a 5'10" freshman from Mountain Lakes, New Jersey, and a big hit, jars the ball loose. And it'll be picked up by the Hawks. And as I said, Nashin made 7 saves in the win on Wednesday night. He's 4-2 with a .945 goals against average and a save percentage of 48.5. So we're going to see Roger Williams in the away dark blue uniforms with light blue numbering. Swarthmore in the home white with the big Garnet numbers and Swarthmore across the front. 50 to shoot for the Hawks. Here's Matt Halpin losing the ball. Picked up by Luke Ingersoll. Now Ingersoll will sprint down this near alley. Good cut into the middle. And get the clear for Swarthmore. So now we'll see this Garnet offense, who is very proficient in the win over Del Val, go to work in the offensive end for the first time this afternoon. Ryan Chambliss just stepping on the field, getting the ball. He'll run point up high, working against Ryan Lawrence. Chambliss drives left. Now makes a move toward goal. Gives it up behind the goal instead. Seavold started to drive right, goes behind. Pass comes up top. Warner trying to find a lane, instead has to give it up to Ben Shafer. Now it's Chambliss, 22 to shoot for Swarthmore. Seavold wanted to drive, had nowhere to go. Gives it up to Brosgol. Shot clock down to 9. And I'm not sure they're aware of it. Shot from around the net, saved by Kimmel. And that as the shot clock was expiring. Kimmel, speaking of the Roger Williams goalie, has appeared in 3 games this season, all in relief. He has a goals against average of .951 and a save percentage of .636, and getting tested early on that possession by Swarthmore as they got a shot off late in the possession clock. And now the Garnet back on offense as Toomey comes up with the ground ball. Shafer driving right. Now will hold and allow his team to change midfielders. Kimmel's last appearance was in the loss to Trinity. And now ball down, foot race to it. Zanini gets there with the long stick, keeps the ball in play, but no one with possession. And now the Garnet come away with the ball, and they'll get a new possession clock as the officials rule Zanini had possession long enough. So Swarthmore back to work with Shafer. Ford has the ball knocked out of his stick. He picks it back up. And now he loses it out of bounds, so Roger Williams will get the ball back. And that was good work behind the goal by their long stick midi to check that ball out of Ford's stick and cause the turnover. Here's Tilsley giving up for a shot and a save by Nashin. Rebound picked up by Ladrito. So Nashin equal to the task on his first shot of the game that he faces. Just over 4 minutes gone in this first quarter. We're scoreless here from Clothier Field. That was A.J. Darren who was denied. He has 1 goal this season for Roger Williams. Ford tries to pass up high. Ball loose on the turf. Still loose and now picked up by Hunter Goodrow. And his pass is errant, goes out of bounds. So an unforced turnover gives the ball back to Swarthmore with a fresh 80 behind the Hawk goal. Goodrow did well to pick up the ground ball. He was an All-Commonwealth Conference third-team defender last year. But his unforced turnover after getting the ground ball gives the ball back to the Garnet. That was Cass faking the shot and then passing it off for Lowe. They work the ball behind the net. It's Ford. Now Shafer has trouble with that high pass. Able to get the ground ball, though, and keep possession, working against Goodrow. Carter Strauch looking for an option, having trouble getting away from Halpin. Instead has to pass off for Lowe. Shot clock now under 30. Lowe somehow gets out of trouble as he's getting hacked at by Brian Cumming. But he's able to pass off for Cass. And Cass's pass intended for Shafer goes out of bounds. So this Roger Williams defense causing Swarthmore problems early. That's their 3rd turnover of this opening quarter. Now Tim Mullane will take possession along the sideline. Now the ball on the stick of Brian Gazzard. Gazzard to pass off for Siegstra. Now it's near side for Mullane. This Roger Williams team comes into today's game averaging 11.5 goals. Meanwhile, Swarthmore averaging 13. Ball down as that pass had its intended target fall down. It was Gazzard, I believe, looking for Durham, and he fell down, and Swarthmore picks the ball up. But they turn it right back over. And it's Roger Williams in the midfield with the ball. The problem for Roger Williams this year has been on defense, giving up just under 14 goals a game. Gave up 21 in the loss to Trinity, 17 in the loss before that to MIT. Shot by Halpin, turned aside by Nashin at the far post. Halpin had a goal and assist in the loss to Trinity. Nashin with the save, his second, and seeing the ball well early on as we're just past the midway point of this first quarter. Here's Ryan Chambliss, one of the goal scorers in the win over Del Val. Goes left, is cut off, now spins to the middle, gives the ball up. Now Sevold will try his luck. Good defense by Barboza. Now the ball in the stick of Chambliss. Up top, shot sails wide. That was Brosgol letting one go. Shot clock down to 25. Garnett still with possession. Here's Brosgol with 14. As number 14 spins away. Had a lane but was cut off by Barboza. Shot clock down to 6. Brosgol with the shot. Saved by Kimmel. Kimmel went down low and scooped it up. And the freshman looking strong for the Hawks in his first collegiate start. But Swarthmore forces a turnover on the far sideline, and they'll get the ball back. Under 6 minutes left in this first quarter. We're scoreless. Shots in the game level at 3. And so far, both freshman goalies, Nashin for Swarthmore and Kimmel for Roger Williams, each with a pair of saves. Now here's a shot that sails wide, taken by Lowe. Danny Lowe had 3 ground balls in the win over Del Val. Was going for his 4th goal of the year, just missed the cage. Now here's Shafer getting a screen. It's at the goal line. And they work the ball up top to Ford. Now it's Sevold. Drives toward the cage, shot from a tight angle. Doesn't look like that hit Kimmel. And goes out of bounds. And the official right there on the goal line didn't reset the shot clock, so he didn't see it hit the goalie. So the shot clock down to 25. Here's Strach having to give it up to Lowe. Lowe comes out the near side, but is cut off. Now it's Chambliss trying to drive. Passes behind the goal. Pass into a crowd. Ball, and they score. I believe scoring from the ground, that was Quinn Sevold. He got knocked down. I thought the ball came out, but as he was falling, Sevold got it out of his stick. And beat a surprise, Kimmel. And there's your first goal of the game. 1-0 Garnet on Sevold's 7th goal of the season. It comes with 4:43 to go in the opening quarter. Great play by the senior from Pleasant Valley, California. So now Paulson taking the faceoff and winning it against Jordan Pavarnik. And this is an area that Swarthmore can really take advantage of Roger Williams in the loss to Trinity. Roger Williams soundly beaten at the faceoff dot. Trinity won 22 faceoffs Meanwhile, while Roger Williams only won 9 for the season, the Hawks are under 35% when it comes to winning faceoffs. But they're going to get the ball here after the turnover by Nico Campagna. He was looking for Beatty with the pass, just out of his reach. And the Hawks go back on offense. And on that goal by Seivold, Carter Strauch credited with an assist. So that extends his point streak to 8 games now for the Garnet. Pass to the near post, and finding the back of the net is Mullane. And the Swarthmore defense just lost Tim Mullane at the near post. Not much Nashon can do about it. So about a minute after Swarthmore takes the 1-0 lead, Roger Williams answers right back. And it's the grad student from Hanover, Massachusetts, scoring his 17th goal of the year. And we are tied at 1 with 3:45 to go in the first quarter. And for Tim Mullane, that is the 113th goal of his collegiate career with the Hawks. Playing in his 60th game. Now has scored in every game this season. And Pavarnik went early on the faceoff, so it'll be awarded to Swarthmore. So now they'll go back to work as they're pegged back by the Hawks. It's Campagna driving toward the middle. Tough pass into a crowd, and we're going to get a whistle. And a foul against Roger Williams. That'll reset the clock back to 80. So Swarthmore now has plenty of time in which to work in their offensive part of the field. Here's Heckman with a drive. That goes out of bounds. 3:12 left in this first quarter. Shot clock, plenty of time still on it. 62 seconds. Here's Campagna being forced backwards. Ball falls out of Campagna's stick. Cumming gives chase. Campagna falls to the ground, bats the ball around, and now it's picked up by Carter Strauch, who recognized what was happening and came back and picked up the ground ball, and he is rewarded with the goal. So the sophomore realized his teammate was in trouble working against Cumming, the long stick midfielder, came back to scoop up the ground ball, and then with a nice individual effort, drives in on goal, beats Kimmel, and Swarthmore goes back in front 2-1. 2:47 left in the first quarter. So after about 10 minutes of neither team getting much going offensively, the goals are just flying in now. We've had 3 in less than 2 minutes. And Swarthmore goes back in front 2-1. And this ground ball off the face-off loose. Giving chase is Ingersoll for Swarthmore, and he's going to earn the ground ball. And another face-off win for Joel Paulson. And here's Paulson with the ball now. Gives it up to Shafer. And Paulson will now exit the field. Here's Ford looking for an option. Has Shafer near side. And Swarthmore will set it up once again. Brosco will try to pass to the middle for Shafer. Ball on the ground, scooped up by Ryan Lawrence. And both of these teams are used to close first quarters. Swarthmore is just +1 in goal differential in first quarters, 22-21. Meanwhile, Roger Williams, the first quarter is one of their better quarters. They've been outscoring opponents through their first 6 games, 21-18. So these teams play for close first quarters and generally are on the positive side. We're down to 1:20 in the opening quarter. Shot clock now at 40 for the Hawks. trying to make a charge as Gazzard. His pass bounces off the back of the net, but Jared Greer's able to scoop it back up. Now here's Durham. Gets a screen, hands it off to Mullane. The goal scorer for the Hawks. Shot clock now at 15. Mullane gives it up to Siegstra. Now Mullane will let it go low and he scores. Mullane given the time and space, and he went low on Shane Nashin, and Nashin just couldn't get down fast enough. And with exactly 43 seconds left in this first quarter, we are tied up at 2. That's Mullane's second goal of the quarter. And we'll await the assist. I believe it'll be Gazzard. Paulson back out for the faceoff for Swarthmore. Wins another one. Ball in the stick of Warner. And now they'll try to control for the final possession of this nip and tuck opening quarter. Paulson has won all 5 faceoffs in this game so far. Here's Chambliss trying to spin away from his defender. Game clock at 13. Chambliss runs from behind the goal, passes up top. It's Sievold. Finds a lane to shoot. His shot hits Kimmel. Ball loose on the sideline, goes out of bounds. It'll go to the Hawks. 1 second left in the quarter. And they'll just wind that second down. And this first quarter comes to a close. Swarthmore has taken a pair of 1-goal leads, but Roger Williams has come back each time to level the score, and we are tied at 2 after 15 minutes of play here from Clothier Field. Swarthmore and Roger Williams deadlocked at 2 after the first quarter here from Clothier Field. Just looking at the first quarter numbers, shots in that first quarter 9-5 in favor of Swarthmore. Ground balls 11-3 also in favor of the Garnet. And some of that because Swarthmore's Joel Paulson went 5 for 5 in faceoffs during that first quarter against Jordan Pavarnik. And those two are set to take the faceoff to begin the second quarter. Max Kimmel made 4 saves for the Hawks. Meanwhile, for Swarthmore, Shane Nashin came up with 2 saves. It was Quinn Sievold giving Swarthmore a lead with about 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Then Tim Mullane leveled the score at 1 about a minute later. Then a minute after that, it was Carter Strauch finding the back of the net to put Swarthmore back in front 2-1. But then late in the quarter, Tim Mullane struck again. And that's how we got to 2-2. Meanwhile, Joel Paulson won that faceoff and is now 6 for 6 As the second quarter gets underway, Garnet have the first possession, and this shot by Heckman turned aside by Kimmel. Ball goes out of bounds. And Ford does not win the foot race to it. So the ball is awarded to the Hawks. And they're moving quickly in transition. And they're on the offensive end already. And now they're going to set things up offensively. And winning the foot race was Jake Frisora. So here are the Hawks looking for their first lead of the game. With the ball with 44 to shoot. So far not really seeming interested in setting it up. Now Halpin drives against three players, finds a player open, shot goes wide. But a good look, Halpin drawing three defenders. I believe that was Railton left wide open, but his shot just pulled wide. Shot clock down to 22. Here's Halpin driving in, and he scores. So on the previous offensive play, Halpin drove in, drew three defenders, and then passed the ball off. This time he drives. He doesn't draw the same amount of defenders, takes it himself, and scores. And the Hawks go ahead for the first time this afternoon. It's 3-2. 13:20 left in the second quarter. And Swarthmore switching it up. In the face-off area. That was Matthew Martinez winning the face-off, but his pass is knocked down and stolen by Zanini. So Martinez did a good job to win the draw, but then turned the ball immediately over. But no harm for Swarthmore, as Zanini's pass sailed away from Ravis. And Henry Collier picked up the ground ball for Swarthmore. And now Swarthmore, unaware of the clock, doesn't cross midfield in the time allotted, so they turn the ball back over. And completely unforced. I mean, they've been taking their time on offense, but there just took too much time. Didn't realize the clock was running down. And they gave the ball back to the Hawks. Now 8 turnovers for Swarthmore. Just 4 for the Hawks. And remember, this Swarthmore defense caused 26 turnovers Wednesday night in their win over Delaware Valley. Now Hawks have the ball on the left wing. Here's Mullane holding against Werner, directing traffic. Shot clock at 32. Mullane goes behind with the pass. Greer comes out the near side. Now they work the ball in the middle. Shot saved by Nashin. That was Noah Rivas, turned aside from in close, and the Hawks are now finding some holes in this Garnet defense. And Nashin had to do well to make the save. Now the Garnet go back on offense. Here's Chambliss trying to go away from Tilsley. Finds room and he scores. Ryan Chambliss just found a step on Sean Tilsley and was able to get that right hand free for a shot. Ripped it past Kimmel. And we're level once again. It's 3-all. 11:14 left in the second. For Chambliss, it's his third goal of the year. He had the game winner on Wednesday night in the 9-goal victory over the Aggies. Finds the score sheet here to level us up at 3. and extend his point streak to 5. Swarthmore winning another draw. That was Connor Toomey picking up the ground ball. And Swarthmore still perfect when it comes to winning faceoffs. Here's PJ Cass. Stops and gives it up. And this is Heckman looking to drive. Goes right. Trying to get free. Pass across. Gets knocked behind the goal and is scooped up by Kimmel. That was Cumming deflecting the pass. And then the freshman goalie came out. And with that big net, was able to get to the ball first and get the turnover. Now here's Railton trying to get away from Holstead. Hawks now across midfield. As we reach the 10-minute mark of this second quarter. Here's Halpin just stepping back on the field as Roger Williams changed midfielders. Here's Halpin working on Ingersoll. Gives it up. Now ball's at the far side along the goal line. Well, Drake providing the defense. Gets a shoulder into Mullane and forces Mullane to give the ball up. Ball worked around to Mullane. His shot angle closed off. And we're going to get a whistle and a push called on Swarthmore. And the shot clock will reset to 60. So it almost seems like Roger Williams tries to lull the Swarthmore defense to sleep and then goes quickly, trying to catch him off guard with the change in tempo. And it forces the push. And the new 60, which is now down to 37. Shot blocked out of the stick of Halpin. Ball down on the ground. Rolls free into the open space. Ginsburg gets there. He'll pick it up and look to run. And now gets the ball into the stick of Werner. Or pardon me, that's Carter Strauch. And now the Garnet will set the offense. And when they've gotten to their half-field set, they really have worked the clock. They really haven't had too many quick possessions. So you saw Ginsburg work quickly in transition, and now Swarthmore has slowed it up. Here's Strauch trying to get a screen from Ingersoll. Strauch working his way to the middle, cuts left, shot on, scores! Great individual effort by Carter Strauch after getting the screen from from Ingersoll. Strauch cut to the middle, then put that foot in the ground, cut back left, and caught Kimmel wrong-footed as Carter Strauch found the far post. And the Garnet go back in front once again, 4-3. 7:52 left in the second quarter. And the Centennial Conference leader in goals now has 2. He's up to 21 for the season. And the Hawks win their first face-off of the afternoon, ending the streak of 8 straight face-off wins by the Garnet to open this game. Here's A.J. Durham. Just holding, not really being pressured. Now gives it up to Gazzard. Now he'll look things over. Ball goes behind the net. That was Railton throwing it up high for Gazzard. Cycled around the perimeter again. Good defense, and but a save forced by Nash, and rebound, they score. Nashon able to stop the first shot, but I believe that's Durham getting to the ground ball and slotting the rebound home as Nashon was caught out of position. And A.J. Durham levels the game back up at 4. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. It was Vendetti with the initial shot that Nashon got to. But then Durham was able to fight through the crowd to get to the ground ball first and put the rebound home. Martinez wins the faceoff, and Swarthmore goes back to work. So once again, we were scoreless for the first 10 minutes of this game. I mean, these two teams haven't seen each other since 2014, so you can almost say that was kind of a feeling out process. But now that we're into the middle rounds, both of these teams are throwing offensive punches. And the scorecard has these teams even at 4. Make that 5-4, Swarthmore. It's Quinn Seavold with his second of the afternoon. 6:13 left in the second. And the Garnet reclaim their 1-goal advantage at 5-4. Seavold gets his second of the game and 8th of the season. And I believe the assist is Carter Strach, which will give him 4 points in this first half. Once again, he had 4 in the game against Del Val. Face-off won by the Garnet. And let's see if they can get their first 2-goal lead of the afternoon. Every time Swarthmore's taken the lead, Roger Williams has come right back to score. And Strach does get the assist on that goal. So he's now up to 38 points this season. He leads the Centennial in both goals and points. And Strach gives up the ball here. Now it's Shafer. Drives left. Cuts back to the middle. Finds Cass. And now his shot bounces over the net. That was by Lowe. Goes out of bounds. Swarthmore there to back it up. They'll keep possession with 33. Pass in the middle. Ball down. Scrum for it. Goes out of bounds. Lowe the closest to it. Swarthmore keeps possession. 20 on the shot clock. Lowe, turnaround shot, fires wide. Ball goes out of bounds. 15 left on the shot clock. Carter Strach in the corner. We'll look to get this offense moving. Strach gives it up. Lowe drives toward the middle. Passes left. Lowe gets it back. Falls down. Shot clock expires as Lowe gets the shot away. But it misses wide. And the Hawks force the shot clock violation. And he'll get the ball back. So a good 80 seconds of defense by the Hawks. Forces the turnover. Now they'll look to try to tie things up once again. 5-4 Swarthmore. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Jared Greer behind the goal. Passes near side. Ball goes up top now for Jack Kester. Kester, who has 7 goals on the season, gives it up near side. They work the ball behind the net once again, and they'll cycle it over to Halpin. Here's Ryan Phillips. Has a screen. Just can't get away from his defender. Now passes to the middle. But Nashon's there with the stick to intercept the pass. So good work by Nashon to cause the turnover. And Swarthmore back on offense once again. Shots in the game. 15-11 in favor of the Garnet. And this is the type of game that Roger Williams wants to play. They want to play a low-scoring game. Because when their opponents reach double figures, the Hawks are 0-4. In their 2 wins, they held their opponent to single digits each time. Chambliss finds room and finds the upper corner. Swarthmore now leads by 2, 6-4. 3:14 left in the first half. And for Chambliss, that's his first career 2-goal game. And that's going to force a timeout from Roger Williams. And you can see what it means to the Swarthmore bench as they come out on the field. Finally, getting a 2-goal cushion late in this first half. And they lead 6-4 in the final non-conference game of the season for the Garnet. After today's game, they'll get a week off and then begin Centennial Conference play next Saturday when they host Dickinson College. Opening faceoff for that one scheduled for 3 p.m. Of course, that's the second game of a lacrosse doubleheader here on Clothier Field. So that might be an approximate start time of 3 p.m. because the women will take on Dickinson at noon to kick off that doubleheader. And then after that, actually that'll end their 3-game homestand. Then they'll go on the road for 4 of their next 5. They'll go to Muhlenberg and Franklin and Marshall before coming home on April 9th to face the Bullets of Gettysburg, before going back out on the road to take on Washington College and McDaniel, a couple of schools down in Maryland, and then end the season against Ursinus and Haverford College. And so far, the non-conference slate's been very good to the Garnet, 5-2. Trying to make it 6-2. And trying to go 4-0 at home this season. So far, the Garnet have home victories over Widener, 14-12, Vassar, 16-4, and Delaware Valley, 14-5. Martinez and Pavaric to take the faceoff after the timeout. Won by Martinez. Ginsburg with the ground ball. Let's see if the Garnet can try to pull away late in this first half and get some good breathing room going into the halftime talk. Ball currently behind the goal with Shafer. Now Sevold drives, passes behind the goal. Now here's Brosgol. Trying to drive on Barboza. Now finds an opening and fires and scores. Brosgol worked his left hand free against the senior midfielder Barboza and ripped it high over the stick of Max Kimmel. And Swarthmore now has a 3-goal advantage, 7-4. With just 2:33 left in this first half. And the Garnet have rattled off 3 straight goals and now have breathing room after what was a very tight game for the first quarter and a half. Tim Mullane comes out of that scrum, tries to pass down low. Nashin quick to it and is able to come up with the interception. And the second quarter for Roger Williams has really been a bugaboo this season, and it's showing up here late in the quarter. They've been outscored in second quarters this year, 25-10. And this late 3-goal run by Swarthmore has them up 7-4 in this game. After we were tied at 2 through the first quarter of play. Here's a shot by Strauch. Not sure he got all he wanted out of it. Kind of came out of his stick at a funny angle. goes out of bounds. 41 still to shoot. Ford will restart play for the Garnet. Minute 21 left in the first half. Here's Cass with the ball. Looks to drive, goes middle, passes off. Ford can't control, ball down. Picked up by the Hawks. And running with it is Jake Frisora. He tries to pass the middle, it's low. Drake got his foot to it, but it's picked up by Holstead. Now Drake looking to run. He'll try a bouncer shot. Bounces over the net. And the official down on the goal line, after blowing his whistle a few times, I think just trying to keep everyone calm, as Drake went diving into the crease as he was kind of off balance taking that shot. Now here's Strauch on the restart. Ball loose in the middle. Being fought for, and Roger Williams comes away with it. But Zanini runs into 4 Garnet players and he loses possession. And as Swarthmore picks the ball up, they call timeout with 27.8 left in the first half. So they'll have the ball. Shot clock not a factor at this point, and they lead by 3. And if they can go up 4, I mean, obviously that would be huge, but I mean, even a 3-goal lead, the way this game was going up 3 with this late run, big for Swarthmore. And once again, for the most part, they've been strong defensively. They've caused 8 turnovers in this game. The Garnet still have committed the majority of the turnovers, a slight majority. Turnovers are 10-8. Swarthmore with the 10. But they're now pulling away in the shot department. They're now up to 20-11. Ground balls are heavily in favor of the Garnet at 21-8. And again, a big part of that is the fact that Swarthmore has been dominating in face-offs. They are 11 of 13 on face-offs. Joel Paulson being dominant at the face-off X, 8 for 10 so far for the Garnet. Matthew Martinez doing his part, going 3 for 3. Shane Nashin with 4 saves. It's also caused a couple of turnovers in the Swarthmore net. So let's see what Swarthmore decides to do. They have the option to play for the final possession with the game clock at 27.8. Play resumes with the ball on the far side of the field. Shafer getting a screen from low. Work the ball along this near alley. Here's Seavold with 15. Goes behind the net, trying to work a give and go with Strauch. Now Seavold tries to come out in front, finds a crease, gets in tight. Shot goes just wide. And Seavold called for a crease violation with just 0.3 left in the half. They'll just run that down. And Swarthmore, with a strong end of the second quarter, goes into the halftime break, leading Roger Williams by the score of 7-4. Carter Strauch has 2 goals and 2 assists. Quinn Seavold and Ryan Chambliss each added a pair of goals for the Garnet. And Jackson Brosgol has 1. Meanwhile, for Roger Williams, Tim Mullane has 2. He scored both of the Hawks' first quarter goals. And then Matt Halpin and A.J. Durham have the second quarter strikes for Roger Williams. Max Kimmel has 5 saves in goal for the Hawks. Meanwhile, Shane Nashin with 4. So we'll take a break for halftime. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the third quarter. After 30 minutes, Swarthmore leads Roger Williams 7-4. minutes of the game. And then the goals came quickly. Toward the end of the first quarter, Quinn Sievold opened the scoring for Swarthmore with 4:34 left in the first quarter. Then, about a minute later, Tim Mullane tied things up with his 17th goal of the season with an assist from Matt Halpin. Swarthmore regained the lead as Carter Strauch scored his 20th of the year with 2:47 left. And then Mullane struck for the 18th time this year with 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Then the Hawks took a brief 3-2 lead as Matt Halpin scored his 11th goal of the season to put Roger Williams ahead 3-2. Swarthmore came back with back-to-back goals. First was Ryan Chambliss with his third of the year at 11:08 with 11:08 left in the quarter. Then Carter Strauch just over 3 minutes later to put the Garnet back in front 4-3. A.J. Durham stopped the little mini run by Swarthmore with 6:51 left in the quarter with his second of the year to tie the score up at 4. And then the Garnet scored 3 times in the final 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Sievold, Chambliss, and Jackson Brosgol. For Sievold and Chambliss, their second of the game. For Brosgol, his first. And those 3 goals are the difference. And Swarthmore leads 7-4. And the third quarter gets underway. And Swarthmore, continuing what they did at the face-off X in the first quarter, or the first half, I should say, completely dominated it and wins this one. Paulson against Darren Wolf. And Paulson picks up his 9th face-off win of this game. And the Garnet now 12 of 14 on face-offs. Danny Lowe tracks down this loose ball after his shot was blocked. Shane Nashin made 4 saves in the first half. Max Kimmel made 5 for Roger Williams. So Swarthmore with the first possession of this third quarter. Here's Chambliss breaking free and then passing off to Lowe. And now it's Sievold running right. Has to give it up to Ford. Pass in the middle for Strauch. Bounces away from him. And I'll go out of bounds. Strauch with the turnover. But had a very strong first half. 2 goals and 2 assists. And he has just continued to rack up the points, up to 38 this season. Had 2 and 2 in the win over Del Val. Had 6 points against Siani. 2 goals and 4 assists. And he leads the conference, speaking of Carter Strauch, in points. So now the Hawks go on offense for the first time. They were outshot in the first half, 20-11. Right now, they're just working it along the 3 in the back. Now get the ball forward behind the goal with 35 seconds. Turnaround shot saved by Nashin, denying Jared Greer. Greer, first team All-Commonwealth Coast last season. Denied by the freshman on that shot attempt. Now driving was Halpin. His shot stopped by Nashin. He got down to get it. And Swarthmore gets the ground ball and back on offense. Chambliss drives right. I'll go behind the net and give it up to Strauch, and they'll set up the offense. Greer has 10 goals and 12 assists this season. Good pass by Strauch. Shafer just couldn't control the pass. And the ball is turned over. Shafer was looking to shoot before he got control of the ball. But just a great feed from Carter Strauch. And they're getting looks to begin this third quarter. Offense in this game really finding its flow for Swarthmore. Now this pass just goes into the void in the middle of the field. Nothing but white shirts there. And Liam Halstead picks up a gift ground ball for the Garnet. That's the 9th turnover of the game for the Hawks. Here's Ford with a screen, finds a man in front, and they score. It's Quinn Seavold. And that completes a hat trick for the senior. And now 1 away from his season high for goals in a game. And more importantly for this game, Swarthmore now doubling up Roger Williams, 8-4, 11:32 left in this third quarter. Seavold up to 9 goals. For the season, has 3 today. And Paulson wins another face-off for Swarthmore. Now 10-12 in this game. And Swarthmore just pulling away from the Hawks. And this is a Swarthmore team that typically gets better as the game goes on. Just looking at their goal differential per quarter. In the first quarter, they're +1 entering today. Second quarter, they're +6. Third quarter, they're +11. Now 12, nearly 13 as Ford fires high on Kimmel. Hit the crossbar. The shot clock gets back up to 60. I mean, they're still good in the fourth quarter, just the goal differential isn't as high because really it doesn't need to be. Jump shot, Strauch misses everything, goes out of bounds. They're still +5, but they're usually so dominant in the second and third quarters. They've usually got the game put away in the games they're winning. Turnaround shot from behind the goal by Collier stopped. And the ground ball picked up by the Hawks. Or pardon me, that's Jonathan Kim with that shot. So Hawks with the ball, trying to set up an offense and get their way back in this game. Here's Jack Kester trying to spin away from Halstead. Gets away. Halstead still harassing him. They get the ball down low and they score. Kester finding Jared Greer. And Greer pulls one back for the Hawks. 9:34 left in the third. Swarthmore still leading by 3. And Greer, a grad student from Quincy, Massachusetts, gets his 11th of the season. Or pardon me, it's Kester, not Greer. So for Kester, it's his 8th. Now he's got points in 6 of 7 games this year. And a violation called against Swarthmore, giving the face-off to Roger Williams. And maybe some momentum. Here's Barboza. And now the Hawks go to work. It's Barboza and Kester, the most recent goal scorer, change places on the field. Ball being swung behind the net. Now far side, they bring it back up top. Here's Halpin. Driving on Ingersoll, pass in the middle, misses the intended target, rolls out of bounds. It'll be Swarthmore ball. Looking for Greer on that pass. Couldn't find him in traffic. And an unforced turnover, the 10th of the game for Roger Williams. Gives the ball back to Swarthmore. Trying to reclaim their 4-goal advantage. They were up 8-4 at halftime. Or pardon me, 7-4 at halftime. Seavold scored early in the third to make it 8-4. Ford's pass, looking for a cutting Seavold, hits the turf. Ford there to pick up the ground ball and keep the possession alive. Here's Carter Strach trying to get away from Zanini. Finds Ford. Ball down. Heckman takes a swing at it, can't pick it up. Ford's forced out of bounds by Zanini. And the ball is turned back over to Roger Williams. Good work by Tyler Zanini, the sophomore, working against 2 Garnet players. He forces the turnover and gets the ball back for the visitors. So we're past the midway point of this third quarter. 8-5 Garnet. Once again, Roger Williams in the road dark blue with light blue numbers, and Swarthmore in the home white with the Garnet numbers. 45 to shoot still. The Hawks try to get in their offensive set. They go near side from Mullane. They don't want him to get that right hand free. He's got a dangerous shot. Pass in the middle, shot saved Nashin. Ball on the turf. Ground ball being fought for, won by the Hawks. And Mullane will just hold the ball. And they'll reset the offense with a new 60-second clock. Shot fired wide. Nashin kicked his leg out there. Didn't get a piece. So the shot clock holds at 43. Nashin now with 7 saves in this game. Here's Gazza giving up to Mullane. Mullane gets a screen, finds space, save Nashin, ball down. And one of the Hawk players stepped in the crease. And that'll give Swarthmore possession back. That was Ryan Vendetti stepping in the crease. Not even sure he realized he did it. He was fighting the goalie Nashin for the ground ball. But he put his foot over the line, and attackers have to stay out of there. So that fight for the ground ball results in a Swarthmore possession. Here's Lowe. Trying to get the left hand free. Does, and he scores! Danny Lowe, the freshman from Darien, Connecticut, able to free that left hand up. Rips one past Kimmel. And the Swarthmore lead goes back up to 4. 9-5 Garnet. 5:25 left in the third quarter. And for Lowe, that is his 4th goal of the season. And his first since the Siani game last Saturday. So we're getting to that 10-goal number that Roger Williams is 0-4 when an opposing team reaches 10. Swarthmore's at 9. And we've still got about 20 minutes left in this game. And good work by the Garnet on that face-off to come away with the ground ball. That was Alex Strach picking it up. Face-offs now 14-3 in favor of Swarthmore. Both teams came in today below 500 for the year on face-offs. Roger Williams down at 34.5, Swarthmore at 45.7. Shot from in tight, saved by Kimmel. That was Seafold turned aside. Swarthmore gets the ball back and they score. It's Joel Paulson. And I mentioned face-offs. He's been doing yeoman's work on face-offs today. He's 11 for 13. and gets rewarded with a goal there. It's now 10-5 Swarthmore, 4:37 to go. I believe that'll be Poulsen from Seavold, giving Seavold 3 points on the day. And for Poulsen, it's his second goal of the year. And his first since the Widener game back on February 19th. And I did enjoy that goal celebration. You can tell that's a man that enjoys scoring. But as a face-off man, doesn't get to do it a lot. As he doesn't take this one, Martinez does, and he wins it. And the Swarthmore lead is a game-high 5. And they've been pouring it on since the score was 4-4. Now it's scoring the Hawks 6-1. Lowe looking for more, cuts in, has the ball checked out of his stick. And I believe Lowe stepped in the crease. And that gives the ball back to Roger Williams. And another stat about Joel Poulsen, when the Garnet are 4-0 entering today when Poulsen's at or above 500 on faceoff wins. And they're he's well above 500 shot high and wide from Carter Strach. Yeah, he's 11 for 13, so well above 500. And when he does well winning faceoffs, Swarthmore does well as far as wins and losses. And here's Ben Shafer. He's got 11 goals this year, looking for his first today. Lets a shot go, but a hold called on Swarthmore. 16th turnover. Danny Lowe called for the infraction. And Swarthmore pressuring this clearing attempt. But now back off a little as the Hawks get the ball across midfield. That's Sam Ginsberg providing the defense. Now the ball in the hands of Matt Halpin for the Hawks. 2:49 left in the third quarter. 50 seconds for Roger Williams to shoot. Swarthmore leading 10-5. In the Garnet's final non-conference game of the season. 5-2 so far in non-conference play. Hawks have the ball down low below the goal line. Now forced to give it up top. It's Halpin. Under 30 to shoot. Halpin looking to drive against Ingersoll. Has to give it up. Actually keeps it himself. Pass goes behind the net. Ravis tried to spin away from Collier. Couldn't do it. Collier on him like glue. Finally finds a pass. Shot clock at 7. Flag down. Swarthmore takes possession. And we're going to see the first man-up opportunity of the afternoon. Let's see what this flag is. And it looks like the call is a slash against Alex Strach. So he'll sit for a minute. And this man-up opportunity comes with 1:59 to go in the third quarter. And the Garnet up by 5. Roger Williams this season pretty good when it comes to man-up situations. 11 of 23, just under 48% on the year. And we'll see if this man-up provides the Hawks a lifeline as we tick toward the end of this third quarter. And the Hawks trailing by 5. Here's Kester, finds room and he scores. Jack Kester, just unaccounted for by the Swarthmore defense. Let the right-hand shot go. Beat Nash into the post. And Kester makes good on the man-up opportunity. His second of the game, 9th of the year. His second man-up goal of the season. And the Swarthmore lead now stands at 10-6 with 1:32 to go in the third. And for Kester, that's now his fourth two-goal game of the season. And the Hawks win the faceoff. Trevor Brooks picking up the ground ball for Roger Williams. And now he's going to try to play some offense. Gives the ball up to Ryan Lawrence. And Brooks will now get off the field. Minute 5 to go in the third. Hawks with the ball. They will have to get a shot off. It's about a 7-second difference between the shot and game clock. Ball goes to Kester, the most recent goal scorer. Now it's Halpin trying to break down Warner. Shot goes wide. Rolls out of bounds. Mullane the closest to it. I believe that hit the post. The shot clock was reset to 60. So let's see what the Hawks do with the potential final possession of the third. Here's Halpin with 15. He's got the clock behind him. Halpin throws a pass across. Shot on, score! Halpin found Jared Greer. And Greer making no mistake, now getting his 11th goal of the year. Extending his point streak to 6. And the lead is back down to 3 for Swarthmore. 10-7 with 7.8 to go in the third. And we're right back where we were at halftime. Swarthmore leading by 3. Here's Polson on the faceoff. He wins it. He'll try to go forward as the ball checked out of his stick from behind. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the Hawks. That was for Sword getting the ground ball. And that is how the third quarter comes to an end. Swarthmore got up by 5 at 10-5. However, the Hawks score the final 2 goals of this third quarter. In the final 90 seconds, Jack Kester, the man up with 1:27 left. And then Jared Greer with 7.8 to go in the quarter. And the Swarthmore lead sits at 10-7. Minutes to go from Clothier Field. Swarthmore leads Roger Williams 10-7. So we get ready to begin the fourth quarter. With the face-off, it's Paulson, as he's done all game long, just dominating the face-offs. That one against Wolf. And now the Garnet look to go quickly. I was about to give you the numbers through 3. But let's see if they'll let me do that now. And it looks like they will. Shafer's just trying to work against Goodrow. Shots in the game are 29-22 in favor of Swarthmore. Ground balls also in favor of the Garnet, 33-11. Face-offs, Swarthmore 17. Roger Williams 4. This turnaround shot goes wide and out of bounds. Seavold saves the possession for the Garnet, 45 to shoot. Seavold on a hat trick in this game. 3 goals and an assist. Looked to go for 4. Passes off to Chambliss. Now Strach's pass handcuffed low. And then it'll roll out of bounds. The ball gets turned back over to Roger Williams. 17th turnover by the Garnet. Roger Williams with 10. And Roger Williams 1 for 1 on the extra man that came late in the third. Swarthmore yet to have one. And in goal for the Garnet, Shane Nashin has a season high 11 saves and a flag upcoming. This will be against Swarthmore. So the Hawks just working the offense here. They know they're going to get a man-up opportunity. Unless they score. Here's Ravis behind the goal, getting checked by Collier. And now it's Halpin trying to break free. Throws a pass across. Ravis spins out of trouble. They get the ball up high. Still 24 to shoot. Plenty of time. Greer looked to drive on the right post. Instead gets the ball down low. Ravis trying to spin away from a defender. Cuts in. Shot. Save Nashin. Give him 12 now. And we will now check the flag. And Roger Williams will go to its second extra man opportunity of the game. Couldn't see the official signal. It was blocked out by the scores table down on the field. But it's Will Drake being assessed a 1-minute penalty. And the call was unnecessary roughness, so he's out for a minute. Roger Williams 1 for 1 so far on the extra man. Trying to get back within 2. It's a 10-7 game in favor of the Garnet. 12:40 to play. And after giving up the extra man goal, Swarthmore's opponents are now 10 for 43 against them this season. Shot from up high, saved by Nashin. That was Halpin looking for a low corner. Nashin gets his 13th save. Now a long pass by Halstead finds Collier, and Swarthmore can now kill this penalty. In the offensive end, it's down to 9. So good defense by Swarthmore and a good save by Shane Nashin. And the penalty is killed. Coming on the field is Quinn Seavold. And Drake takes his place back on the field. So full strength for the Garnet. Here's Lowe. Gives it up to Carter Strach. Spins left. Tried to cut toward the post, but Zanini forces him behind the goal. Strach comes out the far side. Left hand free. Fires a shot wide. Lowe the first to it. 22 to shoot. And play resumes with the ball in the stick of Lowe. Lowe tried a spin move, dropped the ball. Picked up by Shafer. Shot clock now at 10. Here's Seavold. Works free, finds a shot, and he scores. As the shot clock expired, Quinn Seavold gets his 4th of the afternoon, tying a season high. And he pushes the Garnet lead back up to 4. It's 11-7 with exactly 11 minutes to play from Clothier Field. And I'm not sure how he was actually able to get that right hand free. He was in quite a crowd. But he tucked it past Kimmel to give him 4, tying his season high, which came against Elizabethtown on March 5th. He's now got 10 for the season. He's had a great game for Swarthmore. And this ground ball goes out of bounds. And it looks like the official called a push against Roger Williams. And Swarthmore just racking up the face-off wins. They're credited with another on the push. Pass from Heckman gets blocked out of bounds. Swarthmore keeps possession. And Swarthmore approaching their season average of 13 goals per game. They're at 11. Carter Strauch tried to flip a pass to Jack Ford. Ball's on the turf. Ford is somehow able to get that ball as he squirted through 2 Hawk defenders. And at home this season, Swarthmore is averaging just under 15 goals a game. So again, they scored a season high 16 goals at home. And here's number 12. And I believe that's PJ Kett. Pardon me, that's Josh Heckman getting the goal. It's his first of the year. And the Swarthmore lead back up to a game-high 5. 12-7, 9:50 to go. So the junior from Millersville gets his first of the year. And this matches their largest lead of the game. Previously led by 5 when it was 10-5 midway through the third. And now Matt Martinez picks up the ground ball, gets knocked down. Flags thrown by everybody. I mean, if you got a yellow ball's back in the goal crease, Kimmel covers up like a hockey goalie. And we're going to check the flag. I mean, if you had one and you were here, you were throwing it. Martinez got knocked down, picking up the ground ball, and every official has their flag on the field when they saw that hit happen. And it's Brian Cumming, a sophomore long stick midi from East Williston, New York. That's going to sit for a minute. And Swarthmore goes to the man up for the first time today. This season, the Garnet are 17 for 32, 53%. And there was a slash called on Cumming. It was for 30 seconds, so he'll be back on in 10. Right now, Swarthmore just working it around the perimeter. Here's Seavold starting to move. Just playing catch with Strauch. Another flag. Shot wide from low. And another flag thrown. Or pardon me, that was a minute 30. Cumming actually giving 2 penalties as my screen updates. He was given a 30-second slash and a 1-minute unnecessary roughness. So still 50 seconds on the man up. And this penalty area for Roger Williams is about to get very crowded. Hunter Goodrow comes over. And Tyler Zanini coming over. I believe one of them is for offside. Now Goodrow leaves the area. So we've got Zanini kneeling down. Cumming kneeling down, but Cumming was already there. And while all this was trying to be sorted out, Danny Lowe was down after taking that shot. He was pushed in midair. And he's up on his feet. See Jimmy Stifler coming on to replace Lowe. So we've got Tyler Zanini sitting for a 1-minute cross check, which I believe is locked in. And he was the one that hit Lowe while he was shooting. And Lowe just coming to the trainer's table, asking the trainer to look at his lower back, which is where the cross check came. And Mike Intravia is going to sit for 30 seconds on an offside call. So there's just 3 defenders right now out there for the Hawks working against 6 Garnet players. And Swarthmore can really pour it on. Strauch scores! Wasting almost no time, up by 3 players. Carter Strauch rips the twine. And that's his 3rd of the game. And Swarthmore up 6, 13-7 with 8:37 to go. So now 2 of the players are coming back on after the Strauch goal. Zanini staying down. He's locked in for another 46 seconds. So the Garnet can still play 6-on-5 offensively, depending on how this faceoff goes. And the way Paulson's been on faceoffs today, you expect Swarthmore to be able to play offense for the next 46 seconds. And they will. Roger Williams really doesn't fight for the ground ball there. They're just focused on playing defense. And Ingersoll, the recipient of that ground ball. And Lowe back on the field after his trip to the trainer's table. Good to see him back out there after taking that cross check in the back. Here's a shot and a goal from Cooper Buckland. And Swarthmore taking advantage of their extra man opportunities. They scored twice. For Buckland, it's his 4th goal of the year. And the freshman from Wilton, Connecticut, now has 3 man-up goals this season. And Swarthmore just pouring it on. They're now doubling up Roger Williams once again. 14-7 with 8:06 to play. And it's the 2nd point of the game for Buckland. He was given an assist on Carter Strauch's goal about 27 seconds earlier. Luke Ingersoll picking up the ground ball and securing another face-off win for the Garnet. So now after all those flags, Roger Williams finally back to playing with a full complement of defenders. Shot clock at 50. And more importantly, Swarthmore leads by 7. And they are looking for more. Here's Shafer. Now the ball worked behind. Now it's up top for Buckland. Near side Strach. He'll let it go and he scores. Carter Strach. Not sure how he found the room, but he found room in that upper right corner. Beats Max Kimmel. Strach now with 4. 6 points today. That matches his season high. And it is now 15-7 Garnet. And the sophomore just given way too much time to let that right-hand shot go. And he picked his spot perfectly for the 15th goal of the day by Swarthmore. And now Roger Williams winning a face-off. Strach had checked the ball free, but the Hawks keep possession. And now they don't, as Ravis is knocked down. And Ginsburg picked up the ground ball. And the Garnet have just dominated this fourth quarter. I mean, 2 extra man goals help. But even without those, it's pretty much been one-way traffic in this fourth quarter. Here's Cass putting a shot on, save. There is a flag down. And it looks like this is going to go against Roger Williams. Jake Forsora in the penalty area. And now we're just awaiting the call. It's 1 minute locked in. Just awaiting what the foul was for. But regardless, Forsora is going to be out for a minute. Entering today, teams have scored at a 40% clip against Roger Williams on the man up. The Garnet have 2 goals today, now looking for a third, and they'll play 6-on-5 offensively. As we roll towards 6 minutes left in this one. A game that was tight early on, but Swarthmore is really taking control starting late in the second quarter. Now Loas, the ball checked out of his stick. Actually, the stick checked out of his hand. And Zanini wins the ball back for the Hawks. And they'll try to kill off the final 17 seconds of this man up, but they turn the ball over at midfield. Connor Toomey stepping up and intercepting that long pass. So 7 seconds to go on the man up. And the Garnet are changing midfielders so they don't look to be in any hurry. Strach looking to go. Instead comes near side. And Forsora doesn't realize he's supposed to be out there. And that shot rings off the far post. And goes out of play. It's Quinn Seavold with the ball now. And the Garnet just holding. Still 48 to shoot. Shafer shakes away from his defender. Now cuts back to the middle. Finds Seavold up high. But he's working against the long stick midi of Gaudreau. And has to give it over to Lowe. Lowe falls down. Is able to get a pass over to Buckland. Pass to the far post. They score. It's Ben Shafer left all alone. And credit Buckland with another assist did a great job making the extra pass. Shafer all alone at the far post. Shafer now with 4 goals in the last 2 games. His first of the game, 12th of the year. And Swarthmore up to 16 goals today, and they lead by 9 at 16-7. And they are tying their season high in goals this year. And a violation on the faceoff gives this ball over to Roger Williams. The Garnet scored 16 in a 16-4 win over Vassar here on Clothier Field back on February 26th. And Roger Williams, as they get the ball into the offensive end, will call timeout with 4:12 to play. And Swarthmore leading by 9. Quinn Seavold and Carter Strauch each with 4 goals in this game for the Garnet. Strauch also adding a pair of assists, giving him 6 points today. Quinn Seavold with 5. Carter Strauch also with 2 ground balls and 3 caused turnovers. Ryan Chambliss scored a pair of goals in the first half. Jackson Brosgol scored in the first half for the Garnet. Also Danny Lowe, Joel Paulson, Josh Heckman, Cooper Buckland, and Ben Shafer all have 1 goal each for Swarthmore. Buckland also has 2 assists credited to his name. Paulson's been dominant on faceoffs this afternoon. 16 of 19. He's also picked up 6 ground balls. And in goal for the Garnet, Shane Nashin has made a season high 13 saves and has a save percentage of .650. So he's also played his part in what's been a dominating performance for Swarthmore. Meanwhile, for Roger Williams, Tim Mullane has 2 goals. Jack Kester also with 2. Matt Halpin has a goal and an assist. A.J. Durham and Jared Greer both have 1 goal. And freshman Max Kimmel, making his first collegiate start this afternoon, has 9 saves for Roger Williams. So ball back in play with 4 minutes to go, as that shot just trickles in front of Nashin. Or pardon me, that's Jack Ballou now in goal for the Garnet. So Nashin done after 13 saves. Ballou making his first, back the other way. Shot fires wide. That was Jack Schneider. Now after play resumes, ball on the ground, picked up by Brian Cumming. So Ballou, who played in the 3rd quarter of the Swarthmore victory over Del Val, will see out the final 4 minutes in today's victory. Ballou has a save percentage of .583 this year, and is making his 3rd appearance, 2nd in relief. Swarthmore leading by 9. So we're under 3 minutes left. In the final non-conference game of the year for Swarthmore, they'll start conference play next Saturday here at Clothier Field. Here's Mullane trying to spin free. Shuffles it down low, and they score. It's Jared Greer with an assist from Tim Mullane. For Greer, his 2nd of the game, 12th of the year. He had 34 goals a season ago. And that was 123 in his career. So the grad student from Quincy, Massachusetts makes it 16-8 with 2:34 left. And another face-off. Ball's on the ground. Nothing but white shirts around it. and it's Ginsburg picking it up. I believe that faceoff was being taken by Ben Horvat. So Polson probably done for the day in terms of faceoffs. He did very well for Swarthmore this afternoon, going 16 of 19. Now here's Snyder trying to pick himself up off the turf. Gets the ball back, gets it to Buckland, shot rings it off the crossbar. And it goes right out of bounds. So Buckland, looking for his second 2-goal game of the year, just missed. And now Pat Barboza comes in to intercept that pass from Ethan Poynton as we're under 90 seconds left. Now Will Kelly coming on the field on defense for Swarthmore, seeing his first action of the afternoon. Here's Matt Halpin, a goal and an assist for the Hawks. Gives it up for Phillips. Phillips looked to go right, passes it back up top for Kester. Now Phillips goes down, ball falls out of his stick. Ingersoll fighting for it, but the Hawks get it back. And Roger Williams is going to take another timeout. It comes with just 46 seconds to go. And it looks like they'll try to script one final play. They have 32 to shoot, but this game all Swarthmore, even if Roger Williams does score, it won't change the result. It'll change the score, but not the final result. Swarthmore's still going to win. It's just a matter of will it be by 8 or by 7. As we've got a 16-8 game with just 46 seconds to go, and Swarthmore is going to close out a very successful non-conference season at 6-2. And their second straight victory to begin this homestand. They'll go to 4-0 at home and increase their winning streak to 3. They beat Sione last Saturday in Colorado Springs 14-8. Beat Delaware Valley on Wednesday 14-5. And are now just 44 seconds from knocking off Roger Williams. And they've got the ball far side. It's Mullane trying to complete a hat trick. He started with 2 in the first quarter. They score. It's not Mullane. I believe that's Ryan Phillips scoring the 9th goal of the game for the Hawks. And that would be his first of the afternoon. That is Phillips, so the senior from Hanover gets credit for his 11th. Assist to Matt Halpin. It's his second assist of the game. So we'll have a face-off with 30 seconds remaining. And now a foul call against Swarthmore. So Roger Williams will get a late face-off win. Face-off still 22-7 in favor, or pardon me, they're giving it to Swarthmore. So 23-6. As far as face-offs go, Cooper Buckland's just going to hold the ball and let time expire. And Swarthmore improves to 6-2 as they pick up their 3rd straight victory, knocking off visiting Roger Williams by the score of 16-9. Once again, Quinn Seavold and Carter Strauch led the way with 4 goals each. Ryan Chambliss added 2. And then it was Ben Shafer, Jackson Brosgol, Danny Lowe, Joel Paulson, Josh Heckman, and Cooper Buckland all tickling the twine for Swarthmore in the victory. And for the Hawks, Tim Mullane, Jack Kester, and Jared Greer all had 2 goals. And then just looking at some other numbers for Swarthmore, Joel Paulson, in addition to his goal, went 16 of 19 on faceoffs, had a team-high 6 ground balls, tied with Luke Ingersoll for the most in that category. And for caused turnovers, Carter Strauch led the way with 3, in addition to his 4 goals and 2 assists. Shane Nashin picks up his 5th victory of the season. He made a season-high 13 saves in the first 56 minutes of this game. And then Jack Ballou came on and made 1 save in the final 4 minutes. Meanwhile, for Roger Williams, Max Kimmel, who made his first collegiate start, made 9 saves in a losing effort. Shots in the game, 44-27 in favor of Swarthmore. And the final face-off count, Garnet 23, Hawks 6. And that led to a huge discrepancy in ground balls, 41-14 in favor of Swarthmore. That's going to wrap things up from Clothier Field. The Garnet are back in action next Saturday when they wrap up this 3-game homestand and open Centennial Conference play against the Red Devils of Dickinson College at 3 p.m. That'll be at the back end of a doubleheader with the women, who will kick things off at 12 against Dickinson College. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Paul Gronowski. Hope you enjoyed this one and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Swarthmore knocks off Roger Williams 16-9.